Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and this is your race review of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And my goodness me, what an unbelievable Grand Prix. Race rating 10 out of 10. That is the best race of the season so far. Unbelievable stuff. You know, you had carnage at the start. So, at the start of the race, it was Lewis Hamilton first, Bottas second, and Max Verstappen third. Hamilton got a fantastic start, a poor start by Bottas. And then Bottas, he braked too late into Lando Norris. And then he ended up making contact with the Red Bull. And then Norris accidentally made contact with Verstappen. And obviously, Bottas made contact with Perez. So that was the first time in his career that Bottas actually retired on the first lap in a Grand Prix. So, because he's been saying out a lot of instances, Bottas, but not today. He calls that, and I reckon that has now cost him his Mercedes seat for next season. That has sealed his fate, that George Russell will replace Bottas at Mercedes next season. They're going to decide during the summer break who is going to be Hamilton's teammate. But, yep, so amongst that carnage, you know, Esteban Ocon got up into second place. Red flag, you know, so much carnage. Bottas out, Perez out, Norris out, Leclerc out, Stroll out. Yeah, just wow, unbelievable stuff. You know, just wow, unbelievable. Mazepin made contact in the pit lane with the Alfa Romeo, Antonio Giovinazzi, so he retired. And after the red flag, Max Verstappen obviously had damage, so during the red flag, they repaired it, but he still had a lot of damage. But he did do well driving the car was badly damaged, Max Verstappen. You know, he still ended up scoring a point. But, you know, after the red flag, Lewis Hamilton was the only driver who was still on the intermediate tyres, which is absolute madness because all the other cars pitted in the pit lane. So Hamilton was the only one on the grid doing a standing restart. It was mental. I've never ever seen anything like that where only one car was doing a standing restart. It was absolutely bonkers. It really was. But yep, Hamilton still on the intermediates. Obviously dropped to last, dropped to P14. Made a good recovery drive. But my favourite battle of the day had to be the two most experienced drivers on the grids going wheel to wheel. You know, Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. My goodness me, Fernando Alonso was defending so hard against Lewis Hamilton to try and make sure Esteban Ocon stays in front. And obviously Ocon was in front, Vettel second, and Sainz third. But eventually, Lewis Hamilton passed Fernando Alonso and got past Carlos Sainz, but it was too late to catch up to Ocon and Vettel. If Hamilton cleared Alonso sooner, then I reckon he would have been fighting Vettel and Ocon for the race win. But I am delighted that Ocon and Alpine now. It really couldn't have happened to a much nicer driver and a nicer team as well, because, you know, this team was absolutely fantastic during the 2005-2006 season when Fernando Alonso won them two drivers' titles for the Renault Works team. Of course, despite them being called Alpine, it's still Renault brand, but obviously now that team has won under the name Alpine, so yeah, delighted for them and Esteban Ocon. The way Esteban Ocon controlled that race was under so much pressure. Hats off to him. Absolutely fantastic. At the age of 24 years old, he gets his first ever F1 win and is the first French driver to win since Pierre Gasly last season at Monza in the AlphaTauri. Now, of course, Pierre Gasly got the fastest lap in the race, so which stops Lewis Hamilton getting the fastest lap. So, looked like Red Bull used a bit of team orders to their junior team to make sure that Gasly got the fastest lap. But, you know, wow, what a crazy race. I do think Bottas was at fault for that first lap carnage because he braked too late and it was very clumsy, and he's earned himself a 5 grid place penalty after the summer break. And to me, that has cost him his Mercedes seat. George Russell, at bloody last, has finally scored a point for Williams. Yep, 2 points. And Nicholas Latifi scored about 3 points, I think. Because obviously, you know, massive points that for the Williams team. To get a double points finish, that is huge for them in the Constructors. Mick Schumacher, though, the way he defended against Max Verstappen all that time, but mind you, Max Verstappen was driving a damaged Red Bull car. But credit to Mick, you know, he did not make that easy for Max Verstappen at all. And Hamilton was struggling to get past in the traffic, but this track is so hard to overtake. It's unbelievable. But well done to Esteban Ocon. I am so happy for him. And like I said, the Alpine team, big respect to them. It just goes to show you have a crazy race, you never know what's going to happen. And as soon as Ocon got in the lead, he controlled that start to finish under pressure from Sebastian Vettel, but Ocon kept him at bay to win his first ever Grand Prix. And this team from Enstone, I believe that's their first win since Suzuka 2008 with Fernando Alonso was the last time this team won a Grand Prix. It's either in Fuji or Suzuka, but it was definitely Japan. 2008 was this team's last victory, so well done to them and Ocon. And Lewis Hamilton retakes the lead in the Drivers' Championship because he finished P3 and Max only finished 10th, and Mercedes and now re-overtaken Red Bull in the Constructors Championship. So their mindset going into the summer break will be absolutely buzzing that they've retaken the lead in both the championships. Because for a while it looked like Red Bull were going to start to pull away, but these upgrades Mercedes have added, and now Red Bull had a couple of races to forget. It's literally Mercedes now have the upper hand again, but this championship is far, far from over, and I cannot wait for racing to resume after the summer break. Driver of the day, Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso are my 2 drivers of the day. Team of the weekend, Alpine. You have to give it to Alpine. So comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. A carnage Grand Prix, but absolutely loved that. Unfortunately for Lando Norris, his run is scoring a points in every race this season came to a premature end, unfortunately, because there was too much damage to his McLaren after that contact with Bottas. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a racing incident, but very clumsy from Valtteri Bottas. Wow. No F1 for about 4 weeks now, but I cannot wait for the action to resume after the summer break. Bye-bye.